Cloudy World, and today, man, we Bears down, and we talking about the recent Bears versus Packers win. Now, if you don't know what's going on, the Bears recently had a game against the trash bag Green Bay Packers. They are terrible. I'm a Chicago native, so I will tell you they are terrible, and this win means something so serious to the city. We're going to break down exactly why I believe that the Bears won that game, not just, about how they won it, but what really explains why they won it in every single way. So if you don't know, it really started off kind of weak as a whole from the first half. The Bears have this really weird issue, bro, where they just can never, and I mean can never start off a first half good. I feel like it's a problem that's always been there with us, and I will say it's one of my biggest issues with the Ben Johnson era is because you didn't see that a lot in his previous stint with the Lions because they had a certain caliber of consistent offensive level in a quarterback. That's not a slight against Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams to me is the best quarterback in the playoffs still. I'm saying that from a perspective of Caleb Williams is exceptional, but his consistency has always been an issue that needs developing. I believe that it's what separates him from already being a top five quarterback. Once he gets that consistency down, I believe he is a bona fide top three quarterback in the league. And that's with no exaggeration. Bumped into it. But the reason I really made this video is because I think that we have a very big chance to go to the Super Bowl. People can say whether we win or not. That's up to you. That's your own ideas. But seeing the teams that are left right now, seeing what's going on, I believe we have a very strong chance. Now, a lot of people were very surprised about Eagles being upset. I wasn't. I wasn't surprised about the Eagles being upset by the 49ers because they already were pushing a narrative of dysfunction that I think a lot of teams were able to kind of implement their offensive scheme into pushing that type of, not all on the same page. And I feel as if by AJ Brown and by Hurts trying to have a certain type of leadership which handles things in the background, it was the antithesis to an AJ Brown who really just wants to let people know what it is. And that doesn't work when your quarterback has a certain type of way they carry themselves. And it's very clear that their communication was completely off during this playoff game. It actually is a great example of why I think Jalen Hurts didn't throw to that man AJ Brown like that. It wasn't because he doesn't realize and recognize your greatness. It's the fact that every player has inconsistencies that can affect their game at very pivotal times, bro. And as we saw a few of those times where AJ Brown kept getting the ball, kept dropping it, and it was a very, very big issue that I believe led to their loss. Like in my opinion, bro. Now, let's talk about this Bears and Packers because I I couldn't believe it, bro. I couldn't believe it, bro. I felt as if Colston Loveland had a very breakout game, bro. I think that there was a lot of times where Caleb Williams knew that he made a mistake, and I think that he knew that by him having the chance to fix it, he believed in nothing except a win, bro. Like nothing except for a win, bro. And I think that's why the Bears won against the Green Bay Packers, bro, because they had a way of winning, bro, that I think a lot of people don't comprehend. They will truly believe that every drive they're going to get a touchdown. And I think like that type of belief in not only the system, your team, but the focus is something that people don't really appreciate. People will say, "Oh, well, he loses of the last three, fourth quarter games, he lost two of the last three. But before that, he was 5 for 6. So I believe that he had that equilibrium where people will say, oh, well, he scored so much in the fourth, this, that won't happen every time. But it happened. It's already needed to happen. Now we understand the systems. We're trying to understand the playoff caliber that our team has. Our defense is mush, cool, but we're understanding how to still minimize the mush, still make takeaways, still make big plays. The fact the Bears didn't get a takeaway in that game and won, it broke the script because a lot of people believe that we need takeaways to win. There was a stat talking about that in games where we had less than one takeaway, we were 0-3, 0-4, something like that. And I feel that. But this is the problem with things like that, is that it negates all of the actual use and impact that the offense and the defensive, line did. So, the second half dominance was just after allowing 21 points in the first half. The Bears they locked in, bro. The defense made a lot of schematic changes. That's something that I really do appreciate, the coaching staff and those who put these plans together, is because they suffocated the Packers offense. They held them to just 6 points and barely any yardage in the second half. They forced multiple 3-and-outs, bro. And y'all understand, 2 3-and-outs, that's 14 points to a Bears team. 3 3-and-outs and a missed field goal is a W. And the thing is that a lot of other teams could make those mistakes and still win. We've seen comebacks like this where they've had to have a lot more go their way. The Bears offense is so strong with a quarterback like Caleb Williams because there's so many pieces. He doesn't let nobody know what his next move is. He's a quarterback where he doesn't have that wide receiver one. Even Rome Odunze, where I thought he was going to come back and have that breakout game, he did. 44 yards. He still did what he had to do. 2 receptions, though, and that's what I say is that Caleb Williams knows how to limit his daggers, his weapons. And I think that moving in that schematic way is what allows him to keep elevating, and that's why I think that the Bears have a very big shot, a very big chance of not only making it, to the Super Bowl, but actually winning. I think that Caleb Williams is the most clutch player in the NFL. He's proved it time and time again. He's known as the king of the fourth quarter. He is Iceman, not Iceman, bro. It's Iceman, bro. It's just not in him to lose. He's a winner. And I think that's why I respect players like Caleb Williams. They're winners. Winners win, losers lose. It's a fundamental part of what I think makes the game so amazing, bro, because when you see the game from a certain view, we all see it from the bird's eye view, so we're able to really appreciate it in the moment. When you have players like Caleb Williams, the passes they're making are Madden-like. They're literally Madden-like. And you're not going to see any type of film that's going to show you anyone else making those plays as consistent and as important in the moments of making them as Caleb Williams. I feel as if the team's only going to get better, but the defense has a long way to go. And I think the defense will be why, if we do lose, it will be because of them. Now, one thing I will say, defense locked in. They locked in bad. They did what they had to do. That's what I feel is important. So we have to realize that the Bears are new to this. And a 15-year playoff drought breaking is a curse that I don't think the Bears ever thought we would, break anytime soon. And if Caleb Williams makes a deep playoff push, bro, hey, that'd be lovely. That'd be insane. But it's a reality that I'm not, going to put too much money on. Not yet, at least. Now, overall, I think the Bears are having a really, really strong playoffs. I think this is only the beginning. I think that we're going to go bigger, better, stronger, good, better, best. I think Ben Johnson has a lot under his sleeve, schematically left. And I think that by us vanquishing this demon first, it gives us a lot of motivation to go in and really take the playoffs by storm. Hey, man, we could get bounced out, but you never know. Because right now, I feel like our stock is very, very high. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this overall. And honestly, hey, bro, let me know what team you all think is going to win the Super Bowl, because it's getting crazy.